Hi there, it's Chris the Bigtime Influencer, and today I thought I'd tell you a little bit about why I collect cocktail shakers and a little bit of cocktail 101, for lack of a better term for it. Now, like a lot of things, my interest in cocktails was colored directly by COVID. Before COVID, I only made one kind of cocktail, and the cocktail I made was called Chris Coffee. And the way you make Chris Coffee is 2 ounces of whiskey, 2 ounces of Kahlua, 3 ounces of Baileys, and if there's any room left in the cup, you can put in a little coffee. Chris Coffee, the way to start and end your day with the same cup. But that was before COVID. What happened during COVID was one night I was watching YouTube and a woman made a whiskey sour, and I looked at it and I went, oh, that's so nice. I wish I could have one. And then I realized I had every ingredient in my kitchen, including whiskey. I could make a whiskey sour, but I didn't have a shaker. So my first whiskey sour was made with a glass mason jar, and boy was I scared shaking that. So a few days later, I went out and I paid almost $12 for this. This cocktail shaker I bought at a store, retail price, and it's the most expensive cocktail shaker I ever bought. And it's not very good. The lid doesn't come off very easily, the top doesn't come off, and you don't want to fight with that because then you're going to spill everything everywhere. So it's not a very good cocktail shaker, but it was my first. Now, I have 35 workable cocktail shakers. 35. Now, I used to just pick up every cocktail shaker I could find, and I ended up with a lot of generic ones, kind of like this one. You know, it's nice, but it doesn't have anything on it. I stopped buying the more generic ones, but even so, when I see a good shaker, I can't resist it. For instance, this shaker here, it looks like a jar of moonshine. I couldn't resist it, right? I bought it last week. This one too. I bought this one a few days ago. It's just cute. And all of these shakers are less than $5. Almost every shaker here cost me less than $5. Some of them were absolutely free. And so with all these shakers, I have no excuse. I have to make cocktails. So I thought I would teach you guys how easy it is to make cocktails at home with a shaker. So let's start with our shaker, and I'm going to make a classic here. The first cocktail I'm going to make right now is called a gimlet. Now, there is only one kind of juice you should use for your cocktails. You can get citrus juice in bottles, in cans, or in those little plastic things that look like lemons or limes. But when I get my citrus, I get it from actual lemons and actual limes. It costs more, but the juice is so much better. Bottled juice is just bitter. Now there are many ways of squeezing these things, but this was good enough for my grandma, and it's good enough for me. So this is how I get my lemon juice and my lime juice, and you should always use fresh juice. So let's get back to our gimlet. Gimlet is a classic cocktail. It was actually used by the British sailors to get lime into their system to avoid scurvy, because British sailors didn't much like lime juice, but when you mixed it with gin, oh, they liked that. Now, to measure cocktails, many people use what's called a jigger. Pronounce it correctly, jigger. Say it wrong and you're in big trouble. Now, jiggers come in 2 sizes. This is the North American jigger. That's 2 ounces in the big size and 1 ounce in the small size. This is a European jigger, 60 milliliter on the big side, 30 milliliter on the small side. Now, you are all asking that question, so I will answer it for you right now. The metric size is bigger. The Europeans get better booze. 60 milliliters is bigger than 2 ounces. But I'm going to talk in terms of ounces because I'm Canadian and we got 1 foot in imperial and 1 foot in metric, and it's just easier to talk in ounces. But I'm going to be using this one because it makes stronger drinks. Okay, for our gimlet, we're going to start with 1 ounce of lime juice. Because like most classic cocktails, this is just 1 sweet, 1 sour, and 2 strong. This is the sour, 1 ounce of lime juice. The sweet comes from simple syrup. Now, what is simple syrup? You take 1 cup of water, put it in a small saucepan, put it on the stove, let it boil. Add 1 cup of sugar, stir until the sugar is dissolved, take it off the heat, let it cool down. It's syrup. Simple. I guess that's why they call it simple syrup. So 1 ounce of simple syrup, 1 ounce of lime, and as I mentioned earlier, This is a fine British cocktail. And the Brits, for some reason I have never been able to understand, they like gin. So, 1 ounce of lime, 1 ounce of simple, 2 ounces of gin. And this leads to the question, why use a shaker? And I will tell you. We've got 3 liquids of different consistencies. Lime juice, gin, and simple syrup are all different consistencies. And they don't like being mixed together. So you've got to force them. Not only that, but these ingredients right now are room temperature. And you don't want a room temperature cocktail. You want something cold. So we're going to put in a few ice cubes. Now, they say fill it with ice, but I don't have all the ice in the world, so I'm just going to put 5 cubes in there. And you've got your gin, you've got your simple syrup, you've got your lime, you've got it all in the shaker with ice. What's next? You shake it up, baby. How much should you shake? Well, they say 20 to 30 seconds. I usually shake a little bit more than that. But if you shake until the cannons start feeling cold against your hands, it's probably done. So, take off the top. Be careful, you don't want to spill anything. Especially because I am in Maya's kitchen and Maya's behind the camera. Say hi, Maya.
Hi, Maya.
Thanks a lot. And Maya does not want me messing up her kitchen, even if it's to make a delicious gimlet. Hey, Maya, do you want a gimlet?
No, thank you.
No, Maya doesn't like gin. If I was making this for Maya, I would make it with vodka, and it would be a vodka gimlet. Or you do the same thing and use rum instead of gin or vodka, and it is a drink that they invented in the town of Daiquiri, Cuba. And you won't believe what they called the drink that was invented in Daiquiri, but some of you might have figured it out. In the meantime, I'm going to taste this gimlet. Oh, my British blood is just singing now. Now, as you see, I've got plenty of shakers. I'm not going to run out of shakers. So, thought I would show you one of my favorites. It's not a very good shaker. I like it anyway. First of all, this shaker was free. It came in a box at a lawn sale. At the end of the lawn sale, you know those boxes that say free? It's a good source of finding shakers. So, but what makes this shaker really good is that it's got recipes. It's a turning shaker. You see how you turn the shaker to the right recipe, and then these little boxes will tell you what all the ingredients are. For instance, one of the things they have here is how to make a drink called a screwdriver. Now, the recipe for the screwdriver is 1 1/4 ounces of tequila, 4 ounces of, 1 1/4 ounces of tequila, orange juice, and ice cubes. 1 1/4 ounce of vodka? 1 1/4 ounce of vodka. If you come to my house for a screwdriver, I promise you, it's going to have 2 ounces in it. 1 1/4 ounces. The shaker is a cheapskate. But there is a drink here that I've seen for quite a while, and I have never made it. So right now, I'm going to try to make this. This is how you make a matador. The recipe is right here. So we won't shake it up in here. Let's see now. We'll shake it up in this one. Okay, so a matador uses tequila. Nobody should be going da 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 da. No, don't do that. Okay, now you got the song in Maya's head. Poor thing. So let's put in 2 ounces of tequila. Okay. Now let's see what else this recipe says. Let's see now. 4 ounces of pineapple juice. Okay. Now I got news for you. I did not squeeze the pineapple juice. It's from a carton. Okay, 4 ounces. 2. 4 ounces of pineapple juice. 2 ounces of tequila. What else? Oh, 1 ounce of lime juice. That makes sense. Remember, cocktails are sweet, sour, and strong. And pineapple juice is not sour, so we got to throw in some lime juice. And if I'm right, it's also going to ask me to throw in some simple syrup. Let's see what it says at the bottom here. It says, yep, 1 ounce of simple syrup. Where's my simple? There it is. Maya lets me come in here with all these shakers and all this stuff and turn her kitchen upside down. There are many reasons why I love Maya, but that's one of them. Okay. So we have our tequila, our pineapple, our lime, and our simple. What do we need? We need ice cubes. And let's put in a few ice cubes. All right. And let's go to town. There we go. Now, I don't know what glass traditionally a Matador goes in, and I don't know what kind of glass this is, so we're going to use it for this Matador. Tequila, pineapple, with a little lime in there, some simple, whoops. Sometimes there's a little bit of discharge, because there we go, Matador. Ole! You want some Matador? Nah. No, she's not really turned on by the Matador. Maya likes tequila, but maybe she's holding up for another drink. Now, I should tell you that in this world, there are beer snobs, there are wine snobs, there are whiskey snobs, and there are cocktail snobs. And what a cocktail snob will tell you is, oh, you should never drink one of those blue cocktails. That is just pedestrian. That is plebeian. That is for peasants. You know something? Do you know why I drink cocktails? Because they're fun. If you want to be miserable, take straight shots of whiskey. You'll be miserable. You want to be happy? Make yourself a happy drink, a happy cocktail. So, for all those cocktail snobs out there, we're going to make a blue kamikaze. First of all, it's a smaller drink, so we're going to use a smaller shaker. These smaller shakers are often branded. This, for instance, is by Wild Turkey. Wild Turkey makes pretty bad bourbon, but it makes a pretty nice cocktail shaker, so we're going to use it. Okay, now, for this, we need el traditional vodka. Now, the thing about this drink is it's the easiest one. The other drinks I was telling you, 1 part sweet, 1 part sour, and 2 parts strong. This is 1-1-1. So, we're going to take 2 ounces of this nice vodka. Then, we're going to grab some blue curacao. Blue curacao is just like triple sec, except it's dyed blue. This makes cocktails blue. And also sticks to the top a little bit. Anyway, we're going to add 2 ounces of this too. This is 25% alcohol. Vodka's 40% alcohol. We're going to throw in 2 ounces of lime juice, but this drink here is very powerful, which is why sometimes people use it for shots instead. So let's get 1 ounce of lime juice. 2 ounces of lime juice. We're doing 2 ounces all across the board on this. There we go. And we're going to get one of these nice little glasses. And we're also going to get a shot glass, because as I said, people make shots with this stuff. And I can see why. You might have noticed there are 3 ingredients in here, and 2 of them are alcohol. So this is not going to be a weak, even though it's going to be blue and fun looking, it's not going to be weak. Don't need so many ice cubes in a little tiny shaker like this. And this is a little drink, so a little shaker will do the trick. Let's go to town. The little ones you can do with one hand. Okay. Here we go. So, look at that. Look at that. I love the color on this. Look at that. See, the cocktail snobs may say that blue cocktails are no fun. But I'll tell you, this drink is fun. Look at it. Isn't that fun? Maya, do you want a drink of the blue? Do you want a blue kamikaze?
Nah.
Maya was never a big fan of Japanese Okay. I'm going to take the shot. Blue Kamikaze. Ichiban. Okay. Now, I'm just going to show you one cocktail that I'm inventing right now. Right as we speak. This is the world premiere. And for this one, I spent January and February in Asia. I spent most of that time in the Philippines, which is a wonderful place. And believe me, this past January, it was better to be in a warm country. So, this is lambanog. And lambanog is Philippine moonshine. It's made from the sap of a coconut tree, but it does not taste like coconut. In fact, when I tasted it, what I thought it tasted like was tequila. So, I'm going to make a version of a margarita. Okay, now with the margarita, use triple sec, which is like blue curacao. It's basically a liqueur with a bitter orange taste. And so the other ingredient, let me get a shaker and let's get to work. Okay, let's get this pretty shaker. I bought this one just recently. It's gorgeous, I love it. Okay, so 2 ounces of lambanog. Okay, we're going to use the American one here. So this is actually 2 ounces, but it's 2 ounces of Philippine moonshine. Now, instead of using lime, I'm going to use this. This is calamansi, which is a citrus fruit that you only find in the Philippines because it doesn't travel very well. So everybody in the Philippines loves calamansi, but we never get it here except in bottled form. Calamansi is a lime that's only about this big. It's really hard to squeeze, but if I was in the Philippines, I'd be squeezing fresh calamansi. We don't have it here. I'm going to use the bottled stuff. 1 ounce of calamansi. It's a weird color. Okay. So we use the calamansi. We want 1 ounce of triple sec. And because I'm a little bit scared of this lambanog, I'm going to throw in just a dash of simple syrup. I'm inventing this as we talk, so I say simple syrup belongs in this drink. Okay, here we go. The world premiere. The world premiere of a lambanog margarita, for lack of a better way to describe it. Okay. Ice cubes. There we go. So, let's see. Put the top on and give it a shake. Okay, it's harder to tell when one of these gets cold, but we'll give it a shot. We'll see. If this tastes good, I'll try to think of a name for it. If not, then you will never see me make a lambanog cocktail again. Looks a little weird. Here we go. Lambanog with calamansi. No. Oh no. Oh, that's terrible. Oh my God. Well, folks, I can tell you this right now. There's a reason why nobody wants to drink lambanog. I mean, this is 47% alcohol by volume, but yuck. Hey, Maya, do you want to have a glass of the worst cocktail that I've ever created in my entire life?
Oh, no, thanks.
Okay. I'm going to just do one more cocktail. This is it for tonight. Oh, God. Oh, wow. That was unbelievable, folks. Don't make cocktails with lambanog. And fresh calamansi actually tastes pretty good, but that ain't fresh calamansi. We're going to close off with my signature cocktail, my #1 cocktail, the cocktail that everybody in this house loves more than any other kind, a whiskey sour. Yes, and do you know what I got for my birthday? Johnny Walker, 18-year-old, blended Scotch whiskey. There's still some left, which shows that I have a whole lot of restraint. We are going to make a whiskey sour with the most expensive whiskey I have ever used in a cocktail. In Ontario, this costs $160 a bottle, which means that every single fluid ounce is about $6.50. And we're going to use 4 of them on this drink. Because, well, I should ask. Hey, Maya!
Yes?
Do you want an incredibly expensive whiskey sour?
Oh, yes.
I knew she'd ask. I knew she'd say yes to that one. So let's start with our whiskey. We're going to do 2 of these because there ain't no way I'm giving one to Maya without having one myself. I had to take a sip of all of those other ones and drink that damn Lambanog stuff. I need something to wash the Lambanog out of my mouth. So there we go. $25 worth of whiskey. That's $25. Oh boy. Okay, for this is a whiskey sour. We need lemon. Once again, it's fresh lemon. If we use 4 ounces of booze, we use 2 ounces of lemon, and then 2 ounces of simple syrup, and then 2 ounces of the mystery ingredient. So that's 2 ounces of lemon. That's 2 ounces of simple. And the secret ingredient to a perfect whiskey sour. And this is one that expensive bars will do, and cheap bars will not. This is egg white. It's going to make this drink rich. It's going to make it taste like a boozy lemon meringue pie. It's absolutely wonderful. Not to mention, for all you health nuts out there, you know what I do? I make egg yolk omelets with the leftovers. With all those egg yolks, I crack the eggs, save the whites, and make the least healthy omelet that is just stuffed with cholesterol. Take that, health freaks. 2 ounces of egg white. Or if you're using eggs, it's about the whites from 2 large eggs. Okay. So the thing about the best whiskey sour is that it gets double shaken. What do I mean by double shaken? Well, let me show you. First, I'm going to put some ice in here. Whoops. Here we go. Now, the reason I picked this one is, see how it's glass? You're going to get to see it do its thing. Here we go. There we go. Look at it. You can already see that it's exploding there. Look at all that white there. That's meringue. Except it's meringue that tastes like very expensive Scotch whiskey. You're thinking, meringue that tastes like expensive Scotch whiskey? You see why this drink is so popular in this house. I have made more whiskey sours than any other drink in this house. And the people who live here, who loved it when I was researching cocktails, by the way. Every day at 5:30 during COVID lockdown, I would come up with new cocktails. And the people living upstairs, they were more than willing to help me with my homework. So double shaken, we took out all the ice. There's no ice left in here. We're shaking it to get that egg white really going. Let's go. Okay, now be very careful when you take the lid off this, because we built up a lot of pressure in there. There we go. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, look at that. It was trying to escape. You are too expensive to escape. Now, let me ask Maya one question that we don't know the answer to, because believe me, I knew the answer to the Lambanog question. Maya, you can have a whiskey sour either up in a coupe or in a rocks glass. Which would you like?
Both, please.
I give you in rocks glass.
Okay.
Oh my God, both please. This is a $170 bottle of whiskey. You're really lucky I managed to save enough. My birthday's in January, you know. Okay, here we go. Now look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. We're going to let this sit for just a second so you can see how it separates. And as I say, you can either have this up in a coupe or in a rocks glass. Just like that. This is the #1 cocktail we make. Adding the egg white makes it a little more complicated. Double shaking makes it a little more complicated. But I'll tell you something. There is nothing that I have found you can do with a cocktail shaker that is better than a delicious whiskey sour with a meringue top. This is for my producer, my camera person, my co-star. She didn't want the gimlet. She didn't want the kamikaze. She didn't want the lambanog. But a whiskey sour made with expensive whiskey.
Oh.
This is the way to have cocktails. And this is the way to do it. Have your cocktails at home. Squeeze your lemons and limes. Shake them up with the ice. And if you don't have a shaker, you can use a water bottle or even one of these. It's watertight. You lift the lid, you put in the stuff, you shake it up, baby. You can use this. So you don't really need a shaker. I just like buying them. I buy them at the Salvation Army store for $3 or $4 each. But if you have these, you have a shaker and you can make a cocktail tonight. So don't buy the canned ones, make your own, they're better. This is Chris the Bigtime Influencer. I'll be back some other time really soon with more cocktails. In the meantime, Maya and I have to get drunk. Good night, everybody.
Good night.